70,000 years ago, humans set off from Africa in a great migration that would take them all around the globe. In today's video, we'll be looking at how humans spread around the world. So let's get started. Hey there, welcome to my channel. Imagine leaving home forever. No GPS, no maps, no promise of food or safety, just the horizon. 70,000 years ago, our ancestors faced this choice. And against impossible odds, they walked out of Africa to claim the world. Africa was humanity's cradle, but survival there was fragile. Climate shifted, food grew scarce, and curiosity pulled us forward. Small bands of humans followed rivers, hunted along coasts, and crossed into unknown lands. Their journey out of Africa began not with a bang, but with a whisper. A few dozen humans, perhaps a couple hundred at most, set out across the Red Sea into Arabia. It was a land of new beginnings and daunting challenges. There they faced deserts, sandstorms, and predators. But every step was an act of defiance, proof that survival meant adaptation. As millennia passed, more humans flowed into Arabia, drawn by the promise of a wider world. Some pushed on into Asia, where towering mountains and dense forests carpeted the ground in green. Others settled in river valleys, creating the world's first true homes. It was here in Asia that they encountered their closest cousins, the Neanderthals, a species of human that had evolved in Europe and Asia. For thousands of years, the two groups lived side by side, occasionally mating and leaving behind a genetic legacy that persists to this day. Meanwhile, daring humans continued to explore. They sailed south into the Indian Ocean, mapping wind patterns and celestial navigation. They circumnavigated Australia before its aboriginal people even knew what maps were. By 40,000 years ago, humans had reached the frozen tundras of Siberia and the icy forests of northern Europe. Some made their way to the Americas via the Bering Strait land bridge, while others explored the rugged Mediterranean coast. They ventured into Central Asia, where towering mountains and deep gorges shaped their destiny. Yet the journey wasn't easy. Humans battled bitter cold, dwindling resources, and encounters with fearsome predators. Along the way, they adapted, innovated, and persevered. As they spread across the globe, humans interacted with other ancient hominins, including the Denisovans, another mysterious species of extinct human relative. These encounters, though brief, left an indelible mark on our DNA. By 12,000 years ago, humans had reached every corner of the habitable world. They'd crossed scorching deserts, scaled snow-capped peaks, and navigated dense jungles. Each new environment presented challenges, but also opportunities for discovery and growth. As they spread, humans didn't just survive, they thrived. They developed new technologies, created complex societies, and left their mark on every continent. But the story doesn't end there. Across the globe, humans encountered a world shaped by ice ages, volcanic eruptions, and shifting landscapes. Some regions became uninhabitable, forcing migrations and shaping ancient cultures. The interaction between humans and the environment led to both flourishing and struggle. In the face of these challenges, humans displayed remarkable adaptability. They developed new tools, clothing, and shelters to cope with changing climates. They learned to farm, domesticate animals, and build settlements. These innovations allowed them to thrive in diverse environments. As humans spread across the globe, they carried with them the spark of curiosity, exploration, and innovation. This spirit of adventure led them to push beyond the familiar, seeking new horizons and uncharted territories. Their journeys were driven by a desire to understand the world around them and their place within it. The migration of humans across the globe was a testament to their resilience, adaptability, and sheer determination. Against all odds, they ventured into the unknown, embracing the challenges that lay ahead and ultimately reshaping the course of history. But the journey was only beginning. Ahead lay freezing tundras, deadly predators, and encounters that would change humanity forever. They came before us, stronger, better adapted, masters of fire and stone. For thousands of years, our two species coexisted, sometimes fighting, sometimes sharing. In the end, we absorbed them, carrying their DNA in us even today. Humans didn't stop. Some crossed icy Siberia into the Americas. Others braved ocean currents to reach distant islands. What drove them? Hunger, yes, but also imagination. The need to see what lay beyond the horizon. The journey wasn't without cost. Many perished. Entire groups vanished. Yet those who endured carried the human spirit across continents, rewriting landscapes, shaping cultures, and leaving footprints in every corner of Earth. This is the story of the Great Migration, Part 2, from Africa to everywhere. 10,000 years ago, at the edge of an ice sheet, a small group of humans huddled around a fire. Their breath plumed into the frigid air as they watched the frozen tundra around them, a vast white expanse broken only by the dark silhouette of a mountain range in the distance. The leader of the group, a woman named Ilara, had a decision to make. They could stay here, hunting the woolly mammoths and gathering berries and plants, or they could go over the mountains, into the unknown. Ilara chose to go. With only her daughter and a few others for company, she started across the ice, each step crunching a fresh sound into the silence. Days turned into weeks, the cold biting at their skin, making it feel like a second life. But slowly, miraculously, the ice began to recede, revealing the brown earth beneath. And when the ground thawed, something new appeared, green shoots pushing through the dirt, the first buds of spring. Hope surged in Ilara's chest. This land was wild and harsh, but it was alive. Following herds of reindeer, they moved across the continent, shaping their world to suit them. Men hunted with spears and women gathered the first fruits and nuts, storing them carefully for the leaner months. As seasons passed, the bones of their ancestors grew older, fading into the dust of time. But the stories of their journeys lived on, whispered around campfires, passed down through generations until they became part of the fabric of their culture. And as they spread across the face of the earth, they carried their spirit of exploration with them, forever pushing the boundaries of the known world. On rafts made of animal skins, they braved the icy currents of the Bering Sea, battling storms and waves twice as tall as their rafts to reach the shores of a new land, a land that would become the Aleutian Islands. With each new island they discovered, the stories of their journey grew. Tales of bravery, of hardship, and of the endless blue horizon that stretched before them, inviting them to come, explore, and conquer. But not everyone welcomed the newcomers. The islanders fought back, their spears flashing in the sunlight as they defended their homes and their way of life. Yet the humans pushed on, their determination burning bright. And so the battle for this new land began, a clash between two different ways of life. As centuries passed, the humans adapted, learning to fish the colder waters, to hunt the sea mammals that thrived there, and to build homes that could withstand the fiercest storms. They developed new tools, sharper spears for hunting, and stronger boats for fishing. And bit by bit, they explored further, venturing out into the open ocean in search of new lands and new adventures. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, another migration was underway. Here, the land was hot and dry, the sun beating down on the endless sand dunes. A lone figure, a young man named Samir, squinted against the glare, his gaze fixed on the shimmering horizon. He, too, had a choice to make. He could lead his people south to the fertile lands by the river or north into the vast unknown, following the call of the wandering stars. Choosing the stars, Samir and his followers traveled light, carrying their hopes and dreams on their backs. They walked for days, the desert stretching endlessly around them, seemingly unchanging. But Samir never faltered. He knew that somewhere beyond the dunes lay the future of his people, a place where the river would water their crops and sustain their herds. And so they kept walking, guided by the stars, until one night, after months of walking, they saw it, a river glittering in the moonlight. Hope surged through Samir as he led his people toward the water, knowing that they had found the home that they had been searching for. Building their villages along the banks, they farmed the rich soil, raised cattle and sheep, and welcomed new life into their communities. Each generation added its own story to the tapestry of their history, tales of courage, of resilience, and of the endless possibilities that lay ahead. And as they looked up at the night sky, they saw more than just stars. They saw the spirits of their ancestors guiding them, protecting them, and reminding them that they were not just survivors, they were explorers, adventurers, and pioneers, carrying the flame of humanity to every corner of the earth. So the story goes. And in the end, they all became us. From the icy tundras of the north to the sun-baked deserts of the south, our ancestors spread across the face of the earth, adapting, exploring, and conquering. They chased the wandering stars, seeking new homes and new adventures. They braved the icy seas, discovering distant lands and bringing their culture to new shores. They clashed with the giants of old, sometimes losing, sometimes winning, always learning. The Great Migration wasn't just about survival. It was the beginning of exploration, the force that would one day carry us across oceans and perhaps to the stars. It was the story of our beginnings, our struggles and our triumphs, our losses and our legacies. It's the story of how we went from a small band of hunters and gatherers to the architects of civilizations, creators of cultures, and pioneers of progress. It's the story of how we made the world our home. Thank you for watching this episode. To watch the next episode, click the link on screen now. See you next time.